And I know we've been talking about the turnovers in the fourth quarter, but they're specifically in the second overtime. Just what you see in your team's, I guess, inability to take care of the ball.
Yeah, it's something that we've talked about and we got to address. Like we have to be better, and if we want to win, being able to get a shot, um, and then you want to get a quality shot. I think the turnovers have come to hurt us, and coming down in that second overtime, we had some turnovers that we didn't get a shot, and so. But before that, we have to be better defensively too, understanding tendencies with Harden. He's one of the best, and understanding, the three is something that he wants to get to. So that's something that we'll look at, and hopefully the next time we play him, we can be better.
Mentioned the threes, but he was also able to get to the free throw line specifically after Cooper made the shot in double overtime. He got the foul on Christie. I guess, how do you defend a guy who's so skilled at drawing contact and kind of getting the refs?
You got to show your hands, but he's the best at drawing fouls. That's why he's one of the best in the world. And so he's been in this league, and he understands what he has to do, time and score. It's not always scoring the ball, but getting to the free throw line that leads to scoring. He gets to what his shot that he wants, and that's the difference between great players and just average players.
Coach Cooper played 47 minutes tonight. Just what do you think of his performance playing that many minutes in a game like that?
He was good. He was aggressive there. He got us the tied score. We got the ball in his hands. We got to be better of getting the ball in his hands there late in the game. We struggled there a couple possessions, but once we did, he capitalized on that and scored. He played his heart out. He had some great looks. Defensively, I thought he was good, but to play 47 minutes, he was really good.
He called that play at the end of the first overtime, the goaltend initially, and then overturned it. Do you have any thoughts on just them automating the goaltending part of it?
At some point, that's probably going to come. But it's good that they can go and look at it, and they corrected the call. We got the call right. We've been on other sides of that where they didn't call the goaltend, they got the call right, and it goes into another overtime.
With Cooper, I know that we used the word fearless in the Bucks game when he went up against Giannis, but I mean he's 1v1 in the clutch going up against vets like James Harden. He's 18 years old. What do you like about how he's playing and that level of confidence?
Yeah, I think when you talk about Batum and the defensive guys that they put on him, he did a really good job. Harden's not an easy guy to drive. He's got great hands and he's strong. So I thought Cooper didn't settle. He did a great job of getting in the paint and being able to get to a shot.
And D'Lo had it going in the fourth quarter. How dangerous is it when he's kind of has it going like that?
Yeah, I thought he was really good. Got us back in the game offensively, being able to score, being able to find his teammates. He was good.
And then in overtime, what did you see from him? Seemed like he kind of cooled off.
It happens. I thought he had some looks. We had turnovers. There was just way too many turnovers in both overtimes for everybody, not just D'Lo.
What stood out to you about the way Najee Marshall played today?
I thought he did a great job guarding, Harden. That's not easy. He competed, and then also I thought on the offensive end, being able to get to the paint, get to his floater, he knocked down 3 threes for us. So I thought he played a complete game for us on both ends of the floor.
And when you put Najee Marshall on Harden, is that a body type kind of thing?
It's a defensive mindset kind of thing. That's what that is. He loves the competition. He loves to guard the best player. And I thought he was really good on Harden. And then on the offensive end, he was good for us too. Thanks.
Thanks, Alan.
Let's do it.
D'Lo, what you see here in the fourth quarter that pretty much got you going, helping get it to overtime?
Fourth quarter, I don't even remember, to be honest. It's a long game. I think we were kind of hammering what was working. Whenever it was working, we were just, kind of trying to redo it. I gotta see it. I gotta watch it. Honestly.
As you look back on this team, this game was kind of defined by turnovers you had, you all had. Just I guess what you see there specifically.
I gotta be better. You said it right the first time. Just limit my turnovers, give us a better chance to make something happen when the ball's in my hands. Just making something happen for sure.
Was just your reaction to, you know, the changes that were made this week with Nico specifically?
Oh, I mean, it's a part of the business. Players go through it more often than not. So, seeing a GM or ownership or anything like that, transition the other way, kind of just gotta, have empathy for it and then kind of move on. But Nico was great to me.
Tough is it when a guy like Harden he just kind of sizes people up and rears up from wherever he is?
Yeah, you just gotta stay disciplined. Watching his games, watching some of the best players in our league, watching their games, watching the last 2 minutes of the game, seeing, how they operate and, their tendencies and what they go through is the only thing you can kind of, do to help yourself. But if it's your first time playing him, he'll definitely, have an element of surprise to his game and the way he attacks you and defenders and, manipulation. So just got to study on it and try to be better.
We talked to Clay and kind of his role coming off the bench, and he said that he's okay with it and he's getting time to pick his spots. Do you kind of share those same sentiments?
I don't care. I just try to hoop, try to figure out, my momentum with whatever minutes I'm getting. Consistency is all we want as players. So trying to find some consistency in, what's out there on the table for us.
What stood out to you about the way Najee Marshall played on both sides of the floor?
I mean, he's scoring the ball for us, and he's running down guard and the best player full court. So you talk about winning and impacting winning. He's gonna make a lot of money when the time comes. And, teams want pieces like that, and hopefully I can be next to him because he definitely impacts winning and makes my job easier for sure.
There's been a lot of close games, and Cooper's gotten a chance to handle the ball during those moments. How are you seeing him kind of develop his first?
He's ready. He's ready for it. Got fouled on those last few plays. For him to have the ability to get to where he wants to get to at that age, and if we call an and one on one of those two plays, I think it changes the momentum of the game. But no call for the rook. But we still had a chance, so that's all that matters.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, go ahead. Questions for Cooper?
What was your first double overtime?
Yes, it was.
What'd you think?
A lot of game time. So it's a lot of game, a lot of play, a lot of minutes. But I thought we battled well tonight. Obviously, it didn't come away with the result we wanted, but I think we're showing more and more fight, and we'll clean up some of the execution things.
That's 1v1 in the clutch, Giannis and now James Harden. I mean, what's going through your head in those moments?
Just figure out the spacing. Attack these guys. Just try and make a play.
You seem to be going to like a power move a lot to kind of close games. Is that something that you've been working on that you're starting to feel comfortable with?
I think it's just part of the game. All these guys are going to play with high level physicality. And so you have to match that, and you have to learn how to use physicality yourself. And, it's just such a big part of the game. I think, learning from guys like Najee and PJ, who, that's one of the biggest part of their games is getting to the rim and playing with that force. It's something that you can learn a lot from, and it's really effective.
You talked about some of the late game execution. What are you seeing specifically that's kind of having y'all in a position where y'all not executing down the stretch?
I'd say turnovers. Obviously, that's a big thing. Some just late game stupid turnovers, and then just not getting great shots. We had a couple possessions down double overtime where we just didn't get a good look, And, you know, that's all you can ask for at those moments in a game is to, you know, get a solid look. And, you know, you live with putting shots on the rim. But when we go with empty possessions and sometimes not even getting shots up, it's tough to win for sure.
With the turnovers, is it more miscommunication? Is it kind of just being loose with the ball? What do you see?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's a couple of different things, obviously, but just got to be tighter. You know, tighter with the ball, tighter with our communication, our setup, or our spacing, so stuff like that. It all goes into it.
You were able to get downhill a lot late in the game and get in the paint and finish. What are you learning about kind of when you can get those opportunities, how you can create those opportunities, and kind of the balance between, you know, wanting to move the ball, make the right play, but being aggressive, looking for your own drive?
I think it's a lot of flow of the game stuff. You know, knowing time to score, knowing you know, different matchups, who's on the court for them, who's on the court for us, and you know, just kind of thinking the game. You know, D'Lo had it going, so we went to him. We were going to him a lot through the fourth quarter down the stretch. You know, came up huge. I think, like I said, just, you know, being able to pick spots and figure out what's going to be the, you know, best advantage for us on each possession.
It's been, I don't know how many games, several games that you've almost always had a point guard on the floor with you after obviously opening the season in that role. What's changed for you now that you're playing more of the position you grew up playing?
I think it's, I think obviously just having somebody to help relieve pressure. You know, I think it's a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility that comes with being a point guard. You know, I don't know if I was ready for that or if I was ready to, you know, handle that, you know, right off the bat. You know, I tried my best, and I mean, that's not to say I can't go back to it and, you know, can't work on it and get better, but I think it's just worked out lately where it's been better to have somebody else, you know, helping out, relieving pressure. It doesn't mean I can't bring it up and initiate offense, but just to have somebody in there to, you know, help relieve that. You know, obviously B-Will's been playing really, really well. When we can get D'Lo like we had him tonight, just, you know, those guys when they're on, I mean, we're better with them on the court. So, I mean, if they're going to play well, it's hard to keep them off the court.
You're a confident kid, 18 years old, playing point guard coming in. Like you said, it was tough. Was there times when confidence was a challenge for you early on?
I wouldn't say that. I don't know if it was my confidence, but I think it's just a lot of responsibility that comes with being, you know, in that position, and you're being tasked with, you know, obviously creating for everyone else. You know, honestly, before, you know, yourself is a priority. So, just trying to find ways to impact the game, and it's just all those responsibilities. And I don't know if I was ready for that, but, you know, Coach Kidd was confident in me. I was confident in myself. You know, it wasn't perfect, but I think I learned a lot through that. And, you know, it's not to say I can't, you know, play that position in the future. But like I said, you know, B-Will's been amazing. He's been great for us with so much energy. When D'Lo has showed up and been great for us as well. So it's just hard to not have those guys on the court.
At practice of seeing you and Kyrie kind of, you know, one-on-one, what's that relationship been like? Is there something that he's trying to really hone in on, you know, a skill with you or anything?
Yeah, I think he's just, you know, he's one of the ultimate player coaches, and, you know, he has so much knowledge about the game. And I don't know if there's anybody that kind of has ever seen the game like he sees it. So it's just, you know, I'm always trying to pick his brain and, you know, figure out the way he sees different things. And, you know, just anything I can learn from him, I'm going to try to do that at a high level.